Hey, have you ever watched a film and it stays with you even after the credits are rolling up? Maybe the lights are coming back up in the cinema and people are gathering their coats and getting ready to head home, and you're trying to wipe the tears and, sniffle a little bit without letting people know that you have just been crying. Or maybe you've seen a film which has just stirred some passions in you, maybe some anger at some injustice that you've just seen. Maybe you've seen a horror from history and you pray to God that we have learned lessons that we will never ever repeat again. Maybe you feel inspired to just take on the system because you've just watched a movie where the little guy took on the big guy and stuck it to him. Maybe you're inspired to go visit another country, explore a new culture, go on an adventure. Or maybe, like what happened years ago when the film 101 Dalmatians was remade, you want to rush out and go buy a cute little puppy. Maybe you watch a film and you feel like alone because everyone else has a better life than you. Or maybe you watch a film and you think, wow, my life's not so bad actually. Films are powerful. They have the ability to reveal our emotions, our hopes, our longings, and our fears. And this summer, we're going to be exploring some films together. We're going to look and find out what lessons we can learn about life and faith. We're going to the movies, and we're going to learn some lessons together, and I'm really excited about it. I want you to take a moment now, and can you just put in the comments? Why don't you just write in the comments? Tell us what your favorite film is. Today, the movie that I'm going to be looking at is Iron Man. I have to confess, I do love the Marvel films. We've seen them all as a family. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is now the highest grossing film franchise of all time. It's currently clocking in at a whopping $22 billion. It is a huge franchise. But the film Iron Man was the one that started it all off. And Iron Man is the origin story of Iron Man. And it's Tony Stark. And Tony Stark is this arrogant, playboy, billionaire, inventor, adventurer. And he also has a company that sells weapons. And they make a lot of money selling a lot of weapons around the world. And the movie begins where he's just been in Afghanistan and he's done a presentation and he's just been showing everybody how great his new weapons are and how they're going to be so powerful if they use his weapons. And then after the presentation, they're in a convoy, they're in a jeep, and they're getting ready to head somewhere else. And as they're in the convoy of jeeps, something unexpected happens.
I feel like you're driving me to a court-martial. This is crazy. What did I do? I feel like you're gonna pull over and snuff me. What, you're not allowed to talk? Hey, Forrest.
We can talk, sir.
Oh, I see, so it's personal?
No, you intimidate them.
Good God, you're a woman. I couldn't have called that. I mean, I'd apologize, but isn't that what we're going for here? I thought of you as a soldier first.
I'm an airman.
But you have actually excellent bone structure there. I'm kind of having a hard time not looking at you now. Is that weird? Come on, it's okay, laugh. Hey!
Sir, I have a question to ask.
Yes, please.
Is it true you went 12 for 12 with last year's maximum cover models?
That is an excellent question. Yes and no. March and I had a scheduling conflict, but fortunately the Christmas cover was twins. Anything else? You're kidding me with the hand up, right?
Is it cool if I take a picture with you?
Yes. It's very cool. I don't want to see this on your MySpace page. Please, no gang signs. No, throw it up. I'm kidding. Yeah, peace. I love peace. I'll be out of a job with peace.
Come on. Look. Just click it. Don't change any settings. Just click it.
What's going on?
Contact lab!
What do we got? Jimmy, stay with Star! Stay down! Wait, give me a gun! Here!
And then he passes out. He wakes up eventually as a prisoner, as he's been captured. Something totally unexpected happened. Did you notice the name on that missile? Stark Industries. See, Tony learned an important lesson that day. The stuff that blows up in his face had his name on it. I think that's a lesson for all of us. If we're honest, the things that usually blow up in our faces have our names on them. Over lockdown, we've had 6 of us in one house doing homework and schoolwork and teaching and church work, and we have been kind of just in each other's space all the time. I don't know what your experience has been like, but in a family of 6 of us, it's been pretty crazy at times. It's been pretty full on. Life and family and work and leisure, all of it's just been dumped into one bucket and then shaken up and just bleh. That's it. There's no demarcation of space anymore. We're just there, all happening at the same time. And it hasn't always been easy. I had a conversation that goes a bit like this. I say to one of my children, "Why are you being so rude?" And then they reply back, it goes like this: "It's because they were rude to me." I have to say, well, no. You're being rude because you chose to be rude. If I'm, honest, there's been moments when I've not been kind, when I've been grumpy, sarcastic, and even mean. Now, I could blame the fact that we are all on top of each other and in each other's space all the time. I could blame that. I could blame the fact that we're all tired because we've been staying up later watching movies and TV together. I could blame that. Or I could just say, it's my junk. I chose to be unkind, and I chose to be rude. The thing that blew up in my face has my name on it. Here's another practical example. What about financially? The reason most people are in debt is because they spent more than they had coming in. Or they created a lifestyle that they were trying to maintain, but they had no margins to even be able to maintain that. And then when the income goes down, or the job changes, or the job is lost, all of a sudden you can't maintain what you were doing before because there was not any margins in the first place. You know, a good way to know if you've got margins in your financial life is if you are able to be generous and if you are able to have savings, then you know there's some margins. And if you don't have those margins, then, hey, you know, make some adjustments. And we can't blame other people because usually the financial problems that we find ourselves in are usually our fault. The thing that blows up in our face has our name on it. I don't know what your biggest regrets are in life, but for most people, they have to do with relationships. Now, in hand on heart, all the times I've ever been involved in marital or relational counseling, whether in a pastoral setting or a secular setting, I can tell you this. At some point, they always defer. They want to blame somebody else. It's always his fault. It's always her fault. It's always the kid's fault. It's always my boss's fault. I've never had the right manager who recognizes my skills. It's my parents' fault. It's the way they raised me. It's always someone else's fault. It's the economy's fault. It's the politician's fault. There's a tendency in our culture to want to defer and deflect. We want to blame everyone else, and we don't want to own our junk and say, the thing that blows up in my face usually has my name on it. You know, in this movie, after the missiles exploded and you see the puddles of blood beginning to appear on his chest, Tony realizes there's shrapnel there and it's affecting his heart. And the next lesson from this movie is the heart of the matter is always the matter of the heart. The heart of the matter is always the matter of the heart. The stuff that's going on inside us is pretty important. What's going on inside of you? You might not be a follower of Jesus. And this whole idea of faith might seem strange or foreign to you. Or maybe you were a follower of Jesus when you were younger, but you just kind of drifted for whatever reason and he's no longer got any relevance in your life. Wherever you are on your journey of faith, these are some important lessons that will help you thrive in life. If we begin to learn that the stuff that blows up in our faces usually has our name on it, and if we accept that the matter of the heart is always the heart of the matter, that's going to help us in life. Now, I'm going to give you a challenge now. You don't have to be a Christian to take this challenge. And you might not like this challenge, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. I am going to dare you to say a prayer. This prayer is found in a book called Psalms. Psalms just means songs. It's a collection of songs and prayers, and it's found in the larger collection of books called the Bible. And it's Psalms 139. It's verse 23 to 24. And it says this. It says, "Search me, O God. Test my heart. Know my thoughts. Point out if there's anything in my life where I'm headed in the wrong direction. And lead me instead on the path that leads to life." Tony Stark thought his life was heading in one direction. And then something happens. There was a moment which totally changed the direction of his life. From this moment on, he changed everything about how he did business and the type of businesses that they did and the things that he invested his life into. I want you to have a moment in your life where you change direction, where that which might have been leading to death and fruitless things, pointless things, all of a sudden you feel like you are now on a path where you thrive. That's my prayer for you. Could this season of lockdown be a moment where we allow it to alter some things in our life? Could this season of lockdown be a moment where things have blown up and we discover what's really going on in our heart? And we allow it to be a catalyst to change direction. And we humbly say to God, you know what? Show me. Test me, test my heart, test my thoughts. Show me the things that I am doing which is leading to death, and lead me instead on a path that leads to life. Could this lockdown be a moment for you? Will you come out the other side of this lockdown season? Will you come out stronger than what you went in? That's my prayer. That's my hope for you. There's a scene in the movie where a fellow prisoner, Jensen, is helping Tony Stark to escape from their captors. And as they are getting ready to escape, Tony realizes that Jensen isn't going to make it out, and he knew he wouldn't make it out. In fact, he's sacrificing himself to ensure that Tony is led to freedom. When Tony realizes what's going on, he says to Jensen, he says, "Thank you. Thank you for saving me." And Jensen replies in return and he says, "Don't waste it. Don't waste your life, Stark." I don't want to look back and have moments that I felt were wasted moments. My heart for you is that you would not only survive, but thrive. I don't want to waste my life. And I don't want you to waste your life either. And these are the lessons that I've learned from Iron Man. We're going to sing a song now. And then we're going to come back in a few minutes. And I've got some questions for you to take away. So I'll see you soon. here's some questions for you to look at this week. Maybe you could discuss them with your small group. Maybe you could talk about these with a friend. Maybe you could just take a moment to reflect on these questions. Was there a time in your life when you wanted to blame someone else, but you knew it was really your fault? What happened? Was there a time in your life when you took responsibility for something that blew up? Tell us about what happened. Are you willing to pray that dangerous prayer? Psalm 139, 23 to 24. Search me, O God. Know my heart and test my thoughts. Point out anything in me where I am going the wrong direction, and lead me into the path of everlasting life. We'd love to hear from you. Please get in touch and tune in next week where we find out what are the lessons we will learn at the movies.